Let me hit you with something no one else is telling you. Your mind is not broken, it's programmed. And the worst part, you didn't even choose the program. You were wired by fear, by parents who meant well, but were scared, by teachers who taught you limits, not power, by a world that benefits when you stay small. But here's the truth. You can rewire it. And not in 30 days, not in a year, in 3 days. 3 ruthless, unstoppable, no excuses days. You ready? Your mind isn't broken, it's programmed. That's not an insult, that's a wake-up call. You are not a failure. You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. You are running on a system that was installed in you without your permission. And most people never figure this out. They go their whole lives believing that their doubts, fears, and limitations are part of who they are, but that's a lie. Those voices in your head, they're not your voice. They're echoes of the people who doubted you. They're the residue of a society that thrives when you settle for less. You were programmed to play it safe, to keep your head down, to be realistic. And the worst part, you've repeated these lies to yourself so many times they become your truth. But here's the raw, brutal reality. Every thought you think, every belief you carry was installed by repetition. That's it. Not truth, not facts, just repetition. You learned fear the same way you learned your name. Someone said it over and over until it's stuck, and now it runs your life. That hesitation you feel when you speak up, that's not you. That urge to quit when things get hard, programming. That voice that says, I'm not ready, more programming. You didn't choose it, but you're responsible for changing it. And you can change it fast, because the brain doesn't care what's true, it cares what's familiar. That's why the most dangerous thoughts are the ones that feel normal. You don't question them, you just live by them. I'm just not confident. I'm not like them. Things never work out for me. Do you even know when you started believing that? No, but you've repeated it long enough that your brain locked it in as a pattern. And if you don't break the pattern, it becomes your personality. That's why most people feel stuck. Not because they're incapable, but because their wiring is looping them through the same fear every day. And here's what no one's telling you. You can interrupt the loop. You can crash the system. You can rewire the code. But it won't happen by waiting. It won't happen by thinking positive thoughts while living negative patterns. It starts with violence against the lie. Yes, violence. You don't gently remove old beliefs. You rip them out. You expose them. You talk back to them. You say, no, not anymore. Every time your mind whispers, don't try, you'll fail, you answer with, that's the old code, and I'm done running it. This isn't about motivation. This is about mental warfare. This is about reclaiming the system that was hijacked, because the truth is, the brain is plastic. It molds, it rewires. And the moment you start attacking the lie, it starts listening. The moment you act different, even if it feels fake, it starts rewriting the code. Action is the tool, not thought, not emotion, action. You don't wait to feel fearless. You act while afraid. You don't wait to feel worthy. You declare your worth. And with every action, your mind says, maybe we're not who we thought we were. That's when the shift begins. That's when the old programming starts to lose its grip. And in just a few days of radical action, the patterns can break. You've got neural pathways that have been burned into your brain through years of fear and hesitation, but fire burns both ways. You can burn a new path. You can build new roads in your brain with new choices, new words, new movements. You can train your mind to associate confidence with action, not results. You can teach your brain that discomfort is not danger. You can make courage your default. But you have to get aggressive. This isn't passive. This isn't journaling for 2 minutes and hoping for change. This is full contact transformation. You attack every lie. You question every excuse. You confront every limitation like it's a threat to your survival. Because it is. That doubt in your head is the thief of your potential. That hesitation is the enemy of your future. And every time you obey it, you reinforce it, you feed it, you make it stronger. But the moment you disobey it, you take your power back. You say, yes, I'm scared and I'm still moving. You say, yes, I've failed before, but this version of me hasn't even started yet. That's how you rewire. through bold contradiction, through intentional disobedience of your old programming. You don't have to wait for confidence, you build it. You don't need motivation, you need discipline. You don't need permission, you need to realize you already have the authority to reprogram everything. You were not born to live in a loop of fear. You were not built to be controlled by thoughts you didn't choose. You were designed to evolve, to grow. Your brain is a machine, and you are the operator, but only if you choose to take control. Most people never will. They'll keep running the old script. They'll stay wired for doubt, fear, and procrastination. But you, if you're hearing this, if you're feeling this, you're not most people. You're the one who just woke up. You're the one who just realized this programming isn't me, and I'm ready to burn it to the ground. So stop believing everything you think. Question it, test it, challenge it. And if it doesn't serve the life you want, destroy it. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your thoughts. You are whatever you decide to program into your mind, starting now. The moment you stop obeying fear, the moment you stop feeding doubt, the system crashes. The virus dies and something new, something powerful, something unshakable begins to take its place. This is not motivation. This is mental revolution. And it starts the second you realize your mind was never broken. It was just running the wrong code. The world won't hand you transformation. It gives you two choices, fight or settle. And if you don't fight with intention, you'll settle by default. Every second you delay is a decision. Every time you scroll instead of act, your brain gets more committed to weakness. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow, your mind gets better at believing you're a liar. The problem isn't that you're incapable, it's that you've trained your brain to accept hesitation as normal. But what if you flip the switch right now? What if hesitation became your red flag? What if fear became your green light? Change doesn't take time, it takes a moment of insanity. A moment of enough is enough. A moment where you snap, where you punch the table and say, I'm done watching my own life from the sidelines. That one moment is more powerful than 1,000 books. That one decision can collapse years of delay because the mind doesn't respond to softness, it responds to force. And not the kind of force that screams at the world, the kind that dares to show up even when every cell in your body says quit. You've been hypnotized into believing that growth is slow, that progress takes years. No, it's your identity that takes years to crack because you never break it with force. You tiptoe, you half commit. You write goals and ignore them. That's why you feel stuck, not because you're weak, but because you haven't gone all in, not once. You've never gone 72 hours without negotiating with your excuses. You've never gone 3 days treating your vision like a deadline instead of a dream. If you gave your goal the intensity you give your distractions, your life would be unrecognizable. But you've trained your mind to give maximum energy to things that give you nothing back. You obsess over people who don't see you. You worry about outcomes that haven't even happened. You rehearse rejection like it's a ritual, and all that energy, that fire, it's being wasted on mental noise when it should be fueling your rise. Intensity isn't about being loud. It's about being done with mediocrity. It's the decision to go so hard that your old life doesn't even recognize you anymore. It's looking in the mirror and saying, if I keep going like this, I will never become who I was meant to be. That's the kind of thought that triggers real change, not the fluffy inspiration, not the feel-good quotes, but the hard, brutal truth that time is not your savior. Time is your test. And here's what time reveals: the truth of your habits, the reality of your standards, the quality of your discipline. You can't fake intensity. You either wake up with fire or you don't. You either move through the pain or you sit in it. And if you're sitting in it, then you've chosen your suffering. Because there's another kind, the kind that builds you. The kind that tears down the old wiring and forces a new identity to rise. That kind hurts too, but it doesn't leave you empty. It leaves you evolved. Most people will never understand this. They'll think intensity is burnout. But it's not. Intensity is alignment. It's when your energy matches your ambition. It's when your actions scream louder than your words. It's when you stop talking about change and start becoming the storm that causes it. Because change doesn't answer to desire, it answers to decisions. Brutal ones. The kind that hurt your comfort but heal your future. You want to rewire your mind? Don't give it something to obey. Give it a reason to believe you're serious, because your brain is always listening. Every time you snooze your alarm, it hears you. Every time you skip the workout, it hears you. Every time you let fear make the decision, it hears you. And guess what? It believes you. It believes you're not ready. It believes you're not capable. It believes the old code until you show it something different. And showing it doesn't take time. It takes proof. Proof through action, proof through pain, proof through repetition under pressure. You build new wiring when your old patterns beg you to stop. And you don't. You become someone new when the old version of you fights for survival and lose. That's what change really looks like. A death of the identity you've been dragging around for years. So no, you don't need more time. You need more obsession, more discomfort, more mental violence against the voice that says, take it easy. Because ease is a liar. It promises peace but delivers regret. And regret is the most expensive pain on the planet. It costs you everything you could have been. And if that doesn't light a fire under you, nothing will. You don't get what you want. You get what you fight for. You get what you bleed for. You get what you decide cannot be left in the hands of time. So take the intensity you give your fear and feed it to your mission. Take the urgency you feel in crisis and use it while you're calm. That's how you rewire your mind. You make your effort so violent, so unstoppable that your brain has no choice but to adapt. Because that's how change really happens, not through time, but through power. Not through waiting, but through war.